One of the most basic actions in Excel is creating a formula. Long or short, easy or complex, you name it, formula is everywhere. But first, we need to know the basic structure of formulas, types of formula, and ways to write a formula. Hello there, this is Farihatul Mim from Excel Demi, your one-stop for Excel blog posts, discussion forums, templates, and VBA-related answers. Our problem today is to create a formula in Excel. We will work on this dataset using Excel 365. You can use any available Excel versions as well. It has sales amount for two products, A and B, data for hourly wages and total working hour. To calculate total sales, we need to add sales for product A and B. For total labor expense, we need to multiply hourly wages and working hour. Net income will come from subtracting labor expense from the total sales. And finally, income per product will be the net income divided by the total number of products, which is 2. We will focus on 5 methods as solutions. Our first method is to use constants and operators to create a formula in Excel. Now, to start writing a formula in cell C6, let's add equal sign. Then, manually type 2000, a plus sign, and 3000. Just like the data from our dataset C4 and C5. Hit the enter key. Following the same process, we will calculate the total labor expense equals 10 asterisk sign, which is used for multiplication, 20. Just like cell values of C7 and C8. Enter. For net income, we will use subtraction equals 5000, which is our total sales, minus 200, which is our labor expense. For income per product, we will write net income value, which is 4800 divided by 2 equals 4800 / which is used for division 2. Now we can get the total sales, total labor expense, net income, income per product easily using formula. So you can see how we can add constants and operators simply to calculate values from the inputs. The only drawback to this method is in case of the changes in input, you need to update the formulas as well. For example, here, let's write 2500. Now for the total sales, we can see that 2000 is not updated automatically. Our second method is to apply cell references. In cell C6, type equals. Now instead of typing cell values, we will write cell IDs of the inputs, which is C4 and C5. So let's write C4 plus sign C5. You can see from the box that C4 is highlighted with blue color, so is cell C4, and C5 is highlighted with red color, so is cell C5. Hit enter. Now, if we even change the value, let's say 2500, our total sales gets updated as well. Now, for the total labor expense equals C7 asterisk C8. See how the cells are highlighted again? Enter. Let's calculate the net income equals C6, which is our total sales, like you can see from the highlighted cell, minus C9. So our net income is 5300. Now income per product will be net income divided by number of products, which is 2, A and B. So equals C10 divided by using / 2. Enter. So our income per product is $2,650. Our next method is in case you don't want to type the cell IDs. This is pointing and clicking on cells to add references. In cell C6, for addition, type equals. Now, instead of writing C4, we will click on cell C4. And you can see from the formula bar, it is already updated. Use a plus sign and now click on cell C5. Again, now hit enter. You can see that we are getting total cells accordingly. Now, for cell C9, let's use it again. Equals, click on C7, asterisk, C8, enter. Magic, right? Now, let's try the net income. Equals C6 minus C9, enter. Finally, income per product equals C10 divided by 2. This method seems easier than the previous two methods, right? Here, we will define cell names to create a formula. Let's define 4 of our input cells first. Click on C4 and go to the name box beside formula bar. Click on it and change the cell ID with sales underscore A. Enter. Notice that you cannot use spaces between words for name defining, which is why we are using underscore. Now let's change C5 with sales underscore B and hourly wages as wages and C8 as working underscore hour. Now click on cell C6 and type equals sales. Now you can see we are already getting suggestions for our names. Let's use tab key to select cells A. Plus, again write sales. From the suggestion, let's select sales B and use tab key. Enter. So we can create formula using names as well. Let's try it for labor expense. Equals wages tab asterisk working hour tab. Enter. Now for net income, we need to subtract cell C9 from cell C6, which is total expense from total sales. For that, we need to define these cells first. Let's define total cells C6 as total underscore sales and total labor expense as labor underscore expense. Now we can try the net income equals total sales tab minus labor tab. Now for income per product, we need the output from net income. So cell C10, we need to define it again. Let's try income. Now for C11, which is income per product, we will write equals income tab divided by using /2. Note that these names are case insensitive, which means even if we type lowercase in the formula, it will automatically correct it as the defined name. And we cannot use the same name for two references. Now our final and most revolutionary method, which is using function. We can use functions by insert function feature and by formula bar as well. First, let's see the insert function feature. Formulas tab gives us a function library where we can easily use a function knowing what to use it for. Financial, logical, text, etc. related functions are separated here for your convenience. Select cell C6 for addition. Now go to Formula tab and click on Insert Function. From the category, select All and here look for Sum. You can even write S in your keyboard to start looking from S. Scroll down. Here is Sum. Okay. Now for number 1, we can write C4 and for number 2, C5. Okay. From the formula bar, we can see that it has added C4 and C5. using the sum function. We can use it a bit differently as well. In number 1, select C4 to C5. Okay. Now you can see that it will add C4 to C5 using sum function. This method can be used for a wide set of cell ranges, and the previous one can be used for non-adjacent cells that are far away from each other. Now for total labor expense, select C9 and go to insert function. Now we will look for product. So let's look for product, or search for a function bar to look for product. Here you go. Okay. For number 1, we will type C7 and number 2, C8. Okay. We can even select the range as well. For cell C10, we need subtraction, but there aren't any subtraction function in Excel. So we can use this sum function here as well. Go to insert function, look for sum, or from the recently used, click on sum. And for number 1, we will select on total cells, and for number 2, we will select C9, but first a minus sign, then C9. Okay. Now you can see the sum inputs are taken as C6 and the negative value of C9. And using the sum function, we can easily subtract like that. For income per product in cell C11, we will use the quotient function. It will help us to divide it. Let's look for quotient. Okay. For numerator, our value will be C10 and denominator will be the total number of products, which is 2. Our work gets so much easier by using functions, right? Now we will use the formula bar to enter functions. In cell C6, type enter sum. Now you can see that from the suggestions of function, we are already seeing sum. Use tab key to select sum. It enables an opening parenthesis. If you don't use the tab key, you need to manually input an opening parenthesis. Now select C4 to C5. You can use a closing parenthesis here, but if you don't and hit enter, Excel will add a closing parenthesis for you. Use the same method for labor expense equals product. Let's use tab key. Now C7 to C8. Enter. For net income, we need to subtract C9 and C7. Since there are not any subtracting functions, we will use sum function. So equals sum tab C6, comma, minus C9. It will sum the positive value of C6 and the negative value of C9. Enter. Now for income per product, we will use the quotient function. Equals quotient tab. Let's click on C10 as numerator and use comma to write denominator, which is 2. So here goes our income per product. Now we will discuss how to create a formula for dates in Excel. Here is a dataset. We will add the purchase date for this product. Excel has a built-in date format, which might get confusing. In that case, the date function can help you. In cell C7, enter equals, then date. There is a function as date. Let's click tab. Now you need to input the year value. Let's type 2023, comma, as month, let's choose January or 1. And as day, let's try 31, as in 31st January. Enter. Now you can see Excel has already formatted your date as day, month and year format. So using the date function, you can get a formatted date. From these 5 methods, you can try any of them according to your convenience. You can practice this problem with the help of the Excel file in the description box below. Let us know if you are able to solve the problem in the comment section with suggestions and feedback. Stay tuned by subscribing to the channel and clicking on the bell icon. Like and share the video if it helps you. Thanks for watching.